back to my channel. So today we're gonna be doing a coffee chat video. I haven't done one of these in like 6 months, but today I made my own coffee. I have already had some of it, as you can tell, but it's essentially like an ice shaken espresso, but it has caramel syrup instead of simple syrup because I don't have simple syrup, but it's a little bit lighter than it usually is and a little bit lighter than I usually like it. But I do know the perfect Nespresso pod to make with this, and it's just not the one I used today. So I will include that recipe in a future video, but for now it is quite good, I will say. Usually in my coffee chat videos, I get you guys to ask me questions on Instagram or random assumptions that you have about me. But today I decided I wanted to actually just talk to you guys about some random things that had crossed my mind or been on my mind recently. So I hope that that style is okay with you. I will say that I'm a little bit out of practice of doing my makeup while talking, so this one might be a little bit of a bumpier one than the ones in the past. I'm just having to get back into the habit of doing that because it's been quite a while since I've done it. But yeah, I'm very excited for today's video. We're also trying out a couple of new products that have recently released, and so we'll be trying that on the way and talking about those a little bit. Yeah, that's pretty much it, so let's get to it. All right, so if you can see my pimple patches, just try to ignore them. I've been breaking out more than usual, and I've never tried makeup over pimple patches, and if it works well enough, this will allow me to like let my pimples not get like, you know, covered with makeup while also continuing to film content, which is the goal, of course. But anyway, so today I'm gonna be using the new Anastasia Beverly Hills palette. I don't really know which direction I'm going to be going with this, but I'm very interested to see. I don't know what to do. I did go ahead and put my mascara and eye primer on. I can't talk when I do mascara, so I figured I might as well just do that. But I use the L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Primer. I love this stuff. And my current favorite mascara is the Rare Beauty Universal Perfect Strokes Mascara. I love this stuff. And then I use this Sigma eyeshadow base primer, this like stick, and this is in the shade Persuade. It's a little bit off of my like typical skin tone, but it works because then I go and set it with the Maybelline single shadow in the shade Linen. Usually I use the Wet n Wild single shadow in the shade Brulee, but my friend told me about this, so I decided to try it out and I really like it. I really kind of want to use like this color and maybe this color, but I think I'm gonna go in with Fleur right here and like just kind of put it in my crease. I'm using my Angie Hot and Flashy A503 brush. This is one of my favorite eye brushes in the entire world. I love it. I haven't had an Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow palette since I decluttered the Sultry palette, and I'm so disappointed in myself for decluttering that. I decluttered it because it was discontinued, but now I like miss it, and I love Anastasia's formula. It does have a bit of fallout like in the pan, if you can see, but it doesn't really have that much fallout on your face. And if you worry about that, just put your eye makeup on first. I always put my eye makeup on first because it just lets me have a little bit more freedom with my eyeshadow in case it like, you know, fluffs everywhere or something like that. But anyway, let's get to talking. I think I'm gonna go into the shade Liberty now, and I'm gonna take my A502 brush from the Angie Hot and Flashy one. It's like a mini version of the A503, if you can kind of see them together. I think I'm just gonna like place it on the outer corner and we're just gonna see where this goes. This may be a mess, I really don't know. So Thomas and I recently had our 2-year wedding anniversary. It's been like a month since we celebrated that because our wedding anniversary is in July. And it was funny because like it got me like reflecting on some stuff, like things that people don't tell you about marriage, ex-boyfriends. Thomas and I have been together for a while, like 4 years in total. And so for me, I don't know if this is just like a me thing or what, pretty much any other relationship before then kind of became a blur. Like, not that I forgot them entirely or anything like that, but like I just didn't really, you know, remember any specifics like the kind of specifics that I focused on when I was with them or immediately after. Maybe it's a good thing. Like, I don't really remember a whole lot. I just remember the main things of like why we broke up. And like, I remember like some fond memories, but like, it wasn't like I was like, they were just the worst person in the world, or I can't believe that they did this. Like, all of a sudden, all of the stuff that like frustrated me in past relationships, or like within the past relationships, like vanished. Like, I never really thought about it. Obviously, like, I had like a hope that I wouldn't like repeat, like history wouldn't repeat itself when it came to like who I dated or what kind of person I dated. But then at the same time, I dated a bunch of different kinds of people. Like, I dated controlling people, and I dated like a laissez-faire guy. Like, he was really like go with the flow. He was a really nice guy. I mean, he still exists. He's still probably a nice guy, but like, we dated in high school. I guess I wasn't, because I didn't have a particular type, I wasn't really honed in like on, you know, being like, well, I hope I don't get into another relationship with the same kind of guy. I feel like I hadn't really dated the same kind of guy like consistently. Like, they had all been like pretty different from each other, so I guess I didn't have that fear. I know that a lot of girls do have a particular type that they try to steer clear of because they had dated guys like that in the past. And like, I have dated guys that had similar characteristics. So like, there'd be certain characteristics I would like make sure that I would avoid, like controlling, because I did have that in 2 relationships. I've only had 4 relationships overall. I don't know if that's a lot or not, like, I don't know. But 2 of them were controlling, 1 was not, and then Thomas was not. So I don't know, like, I didn't, you know, I avoided controlling, but, you know, it wasn't something where I was like drawn to it necessarily over and over again. So I didn't like feel like it was like a guarantee that that would be in all my relationships, and that would be like the only kind of guy I would be interested in. And so I pretty much forgot everything about any past relationships like that, you know, where I was so honed in on it. And like, yeah, I had like, there were like bad times in previous relationships. And like, looking back at it now, I'm like, you know, I was young. And so like, there were probably times that I was being unrealistic or just a little bit too demanding or something like that. Or like, the person I was dating was like being a little too unrealistic. And so, you know, the last time I dated before Thomas, I had just gotten out of high school, and I dated that guy into like halfway being through 21. So we were still mostly teenagers for our relationship and early 20s. And so like, you know, I did like immature things because I was a teenager for the most part, and he did immature things because he was a teenager. And I haven't talked to him pretty much since we broke up. And last I checked, I do have friends that like still follow some of my exes, and like, they'll be like, oh, blah blah is getting married or whatever. And, you know, I'm not really like, who could possibly want to be with him? I would be like, oh, that's nice. You know, like, I really genuinely want all of my ex-boyfriends to be happy. And like, same can be said for like any person I may have been friends with that we're not really friends anymore. Like, I want them to be happy. And maybe like my friends or my previous friends and I will come together like in the future. But for now, like, I just want them to be happy, and I'm trying to focus on my own happiness because I've been such a people pleaser that I've like let people walk all over me in the past. And this is like everybody. It didn't like, not just ex-boyfriends or whatever, like any past friends I had, ex-boyfriends, adults of like certain statuses. So I'm really just trying to focus on myself while also like wishing everybody the best. I'm not like, screw them, like I hate them. I don't hate anybody. There are certain things that I wish people didn't do to me, but at the end of the day, there's really nothing that I can do about it except for improve myself. So that's what I'm trying to focus on. I'm gonna go into the shade Wings now and put this on my lid. Ooh, look at that color. Ooh, fun. It's like a safe way of approaching green. That looks so pretty. Let's do a little, I don't really know if I want to do too much more. I just want to kind of blend that green shimmer shade into the crease that is looking so nice, just to make sure there's no like harsh edges. I want to line my eyes. Maybe I'll go into the shade Metro and just kind of line it like I'm wearing eyeliner. So I think that this eye look turned out so nicely. So far, really loving this palette. I'm really excited to like play with Wisteria, or Wisteria, I don't really know how it's supposed to be pronounced, but basically the pretty purple shade I really want to try in the future, but for now I'm really loving like the green shimmer with like the blended like pinky tone and like the like matte army green shade. Before we get to like the next topic at hand, I did want to try this out. This is the e.l.f. Glow Liquid Filter Glow Booster, the one that's supposed to be like the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter. I only have a mini size of the Charlotte Tilbury one, so I don't know personally how the wands compare, but I think that they're pretty similar in size. This, as I pulled it out, it has a lot of products, so I don't think I'm gonna go in with that much. By the way, this is in the shade Fair. I think it's the like lightest shade. It's darker than I was expecting, and I ordered 2 of these because they, you know, they were selling out, and I actually ended up snatching these before they sold out the first time, but I had a feeling they were gonna sell out, so I was like, we're just gonna get 2, and one will be my self-tanner shade, but that one may be even too dark for my self-tanner shade. I guess we'll find that out in the future. I did go ahead and pop the Salicylic Acid Acne Fighting Putty Primer into my T-zone because I just feel like I need a little pore filling, and I really like this one. It's the green one. I think I'm just gonna go in and like draw it or paint it and then like blend it in with a brush. I ordered a brush that Kelly Gooch recommended or has been using in her videos for like these kind of products. It's by Undone Beauty, but it is not in yet, so I'm not going to use that, of course, but I am excited to try it because it's got such a unique shape. There's not really any discernible smell, which is nice. I love that this is a glass bottle. It's $14 though, so it should at least have a glass bottle. To keep with the theme, I think I'm gonna go with the e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush and just kind of blend it in. I actually do happen to have the Charlotte Tilbury one on hand still. I decluttered it, but I haven't sent that off yet. I just got busy with like life and stuff. So if this is a dupe, I might snatch that out of my decluttered stuff and include it in the next dupes video and then re-declutter it. That's really, really pretty. How many ounces are in here? Okay, so this has 1.06 ounces, which is 0.06 more than you get in like a typical foundation. So I feel like that's pretty good. I do still think that $14 is kind of expensive for e.l.f. But you know, they're getting pretty proud. Like I know that their CC cream was like $14, so I guess they're like, that's just like their higher end area. Oh, I know I have an itch. I have an itch. When you have an itch, do you ever like grab the brush that you used or whatever and like try to itch it like that so you don't ruin what you just put down? That's what I do. It's no surprise that I'm going to go in with my L'Oreal Infallible Freshwear. I feel like I need the coverage today, especially working with these acne patches. And so I'm gonna go in with this. We're not gonna really talk much about it because I use it all the time and I've mentioned it like 20,000 times on my channel. The next topic that I want to talk about is what people don't tell you about marriage, especially early marriage. So, I feel like when you get engaged, or at least this was my experience. When I got engaged, my experience was I either got, oh my gosh, it's gonna be the best thing ever, or are you sure you want to do that? Because the divorce rate is so high, and I got married when I was 23. Yeah, I was 23. And, you know, everybody's like, you have a 70% more chance of getting divorced if you get married under 25. I really think it depends on the couple. And so I try not to buy into too many statistics while also being like reasonable. But we're getting off on a tangent here. So I would hear that kind of stuff. And I was like, all right, thank you so much for the positivity. I was really excited about getting married. I wasn't planning on getting married young or anything like that. It just happened. It wasn't like, my goal is to be married by the time I am 24. It just happened like that. And so, you know, I just kind of went with the flow. This is so odd, putting makeup over acne patches, but whatever. Those are the reactions I got. Like, are you sure you want to do this, or this is going to be the best thing ever? But I never once was like told by anybody, including like anybody that we had like premarital counseling with, like, well, you know, at the beginning, you're going to fight about the most random stuff. And from what I've gathered from other people who got married around the same time I did, that's pretty common, to fight about the most random stuff. Because when you initially get married, I think that both parties, so like both spouses, like kind of just assume that the little quirky things that you like think are cute but kind of annoying about your significant other will just disappear. They'll just go away. And that is not what happens. They actually get worse. And of course, like, my mom is very realistic. She's a realist. So she was like, there's little things that you think are cute now, Monica, are gonna get really even more annoying and more prominent, and you need to be prepared for that. And I was like, yeah, you know, I know. And I did know, but like, you don't really know until you're experiencing it. Kind of like how everybody knows, I mean, I feel like this is a very extreme example, but it's the first thing that came to my head. Kind of like how everybody knows that childbirth is extremely painful and long, but like, I won't know what that is actually like until I get to that point in my life. Like, I can be cognitively aware, but I won't have the experience to like back up like my awareness of that, you know? By the way, I think that this e.l.f. gave me a little bit more coverage because I'm not having to put on as much foundation, like taking away from the fact that I'm wearing acne patches. I feel like I got like, I feel like it gave me a little bit of coverage, so I'm not having to use as much foundation. So that's like pretty cool. I don't really remember that with the Charlotte Tilbury one, which I actually like way prefer if that's the case. Just a side note. But yeah, like, nobody was like, you really need to prepare for this, like, just be aware. Because when we got married, Thomas and I, we had stupid fights. We still have stupid fights. And you know what? At first, I've talked to other girls and they were like, I just didn't think I was gonna get that through that first year of marriage. Like, it's great, but it's also like really just nauseating and just hard to get through because we're so different, and I wasn't expecting this. And I totally feel that. And the fact that we got married in the height of COVID, or like around when it was really prominent, was also a contributing factor, because of course we saw each other a little bit more. And so, you know, we were like, wow, everything that I thought was so cute when we were dating is so annoying. And so we're still 2 years later, we're still having to adapt to that and like, you know, try to understand the other person's perspective and their point of view. But I just like want to give that, you know, a little bit of attention. So if you were like, no, it's really not that annoying, like whatever that little thing that he or she does in your like dating life, it's really not that annoying. Yes, it is. And you just have to decide if you can live with that. Like, for me, yeah, Thomas does some really annoying things. I know I do some really annoying things to him, but you know, it's not annoying enough to where we wouldn't be able to live with it. You're gonna run into like random streaks of just like bickering matches and fighting, but you have to like be on the same team. And I'm obviously still very early on in marriage, so like I only will learn more from here. But this is just what I've learned in like the first 2 years, actually probably within like the first 6 months. And we have grown stronger together because of this. And so I appreciate that. And I appreciate the fact that we are really getting to learn each other's strong suits, or how strong we are together. And I think that's really, really nice. These two together are a power duo. It does look kind of funny with these acne patches on, but I'm going to continue to try this, and this will be featured in my next speed reviews. So yeah, but initially it's looking really, really nice. I'm going to continue to put makeup on over top of it, of course. But so far, like my skin, other than the acne patches, which I keep bringing up, looks really, really good. So yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, just be aware that marriage is not a honeymoon stage. Even initially, like Thomas and I really never had a honeymoon stage. And actually, like at first I was kind of disappointed by that. Like I was like, I want to have a honeymoon stage. You know, everybody does. No, not everybody does. And not every couple is meant to. And in the end, that's what works for us. It's not going to be the same for everybody, but there are general things that are very similar, like the annoying little quirks that you think are cute when you're dating, but are really not, and will be the most annoying things like within your marriage. So I'm just here to spread the little knowledge that I have. I still have an itch on my face, and it's driving me crazy. I think I have like a dog hair or something on my face, which is not really shocking, but it is a little bit annoying. Now I'm gonna go in with the Catrice True Skin Concealer. I love this stuff. It's so good. But a concealer thing that I've been doing recently, I was doing the trend where I did a little bit on the inside, a little bit on the outside. I'm actually just doing it a little bit on the inside because I'm finding I don't really need that much concealer. And I really just need maybe this much, and I'll just like drag it to the outside, and I like the way that my makeup looks better like that. I don't know, I just sometimes less is more, even though I'm like, you know, doing full glam right now, but whatever. So while I let that sit, I'm gonna drag just the foundation down my neck a little bit so I don't have any demarcation lines. Some people hate this, but it works for me, so I just do it a little bit. I also like was randomly thinking about makeup pet peeves, and I just like, they're just things that I randomly will think about on every level of things that are important to me. As you can tell, this is, you know, marriage is important to me, Thomas is important to me, now we're getting to makeup, which I love. And I just have some random pet peeves, and I just wanted to talk about them because I just want to know if anybody else has these pet peeves or if it's just like a me problem. One pet peeve I have is smelly makeup. Let me explain. That sounds gross, but I actually mean makeup that smells like food, or something like that. Like I know Jaclyn Hill just released like a new bronzer, which I did try, and I'll be, you know, talking about that in my speed reviews video. Shameless self-promo, but she was talking about how it smells like coffee. It smells like fake coffee, and I don't like it. I don't like that they're trying to make things smell like food. I didn't like when Too Faced made things smell like peaches or chocolate. Like, I just don't like it. And I don't like that Physicians Formula makes like their newer bronzers smell like donuts or cake or whatever. I don't know what it is about it. It's not that it necessarily grosses me out. I just don't like it. Like, I don't like fake smelling stuff. And I feel like that's a really big trend. And honestly, it's been a big trend for a while. And I hate it. And so it actually stops me from buying things sometimes. Like the Jaclyn Hill bronzer, I bought because I actually was really interested in like the formula. And the smell is not the most offensive one I've ever smelled on makeup. But for me, the smell on that bronzer will sometimes like stop me from actually using it, because I just don't like when bronzer or just makeup in general smells like food or coffee. I just don't like that. I'd rather it not smell like anything. Like, I don't want it to smell fragranced, so I'd rather just not smell like anything. And then another pet peeve is makeup that is named overly sexual things. So let me explain this. I'm not a prude, but I feel like sex, and I hate saying that word on my channel, is so like desensitized on things. So like, you know, NARS orgasm, better than sex mascara. I wish they weren't called that, you know, and I know that that makes me sound so like a stick in the mud. But if I had a child and they were like, Mommy, what does orgasm mean? If they saw one of the most popular blushes of all time, you know, that would put me at a loss for words, you know? And I'd probably say the most stereotypical answer, like, oh, we'll talk about it when you're older. But I don't want that to present itself in that way. Like, I'd rather makeup just not be sexual. I don't sit here and like dwell on it for days or anything like that, but I just don't like it. And I'm not a prude, I promise. It's just like my personal opinion about it. I get nervous talking about stuff like this because I'm like, somebody's gonna get really offended or mad or something, because I never really know what's gonna like bother somebody. I'm going to blend this out. And so what I do is I just kind of like clean my eyeshadow a little bit, but I don't want it to have such a defined line. So I really am liking it for that. But also, since there's less concealer, there's less possibility of it like creasing on the outside. And I really don't feel like my concealer looks like I have any less on in like a bad way. Like I don't have enough coverage with just this amount. And I know that even that amount that I put on is more than a lot of people do. It's just like works for me because I feel like I have so many dark circles, or not really many, there's 2 dark circles, but I feel like I have such prominent dark circles. It's more of what I was saying. Now I'm just going in with the Maybelline Fit Me and just kind of setting this. I'm gonna try another product here in a second that I'm very excited about. It's a higher end product. We're going back and forth, high-end drugstore, high-end drugstore. I do slightly bake. It's just what works for me, especially in the summertime. Because it is really hot in Alabama, which is where I live, and really humid. The next product I'm going to try out is the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Sun-Kissed Glow Bronzer. This isn't a brand new launch, but it's fairly recent, and the reason I am just getting it now is because they just restocked their lightest shade in Fair, which is still kind of dark in my opinion. I'm very interested to see how this is going to go. We're just going to roll with the punches. I need a little coffee, and by the way, this thing is huge. Which it should be because it's like $56. So while this is setting, I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try to go in light though, because I watched Jessica Braun apply this. She did have the second lightest shade, which is like shade medium, and it like she had to like go blend it out like right after because it was like a streak of darkness. So I'm just gonna go in. This is a Profusion brush. This is actually a buffing foundation brush, the FD1. I'm just gonna go in really lightly and see how this is gonna go. Usually when I'm trying new products out, I will not watch like reviews of other people trying them, but in this case, I've been waiting for months for this to come back in stock, like this particular shade, so I didn't really think it was like that harmful, because it's not like everybody's like depending on my opinion of this to be like, oh, I'm definitely gonna get it. I think that looks really nice. I just went in very lightly, but I think that is going so nicely. It's not really picking up anything under. So let's go into the other side. We have one more topic to talk about. I went a little heavier on this side, so I'm gonna need to do a little bit more blending. There's no mirror over here, I'm just blending aimlessly. Seems to be going really nicely. Let's do a little bit on the forehead. And this is looking really nice. For the most part, I think that Charlotte Tilbury is overhyped, but she gets me with some of the products that she releases. I just have to be honest. And I really like her Beautiful Skin foundation. I actually may have worn that today, but I didn't because I didn't think to. But I think this is looking really nice. I really liked that. It doesn't even really look like I touched it. I'm interested to see how it will wear, but it's a very nice, like almost natural-ish looking bronzer. And it's not too dark. About to get into my last topic, but I've really been loving the e.l.f. powder foundation to set my face. I don't know how it's gonna be in the winter, but for right now, I am loving it. It holds into my makeup so nicely, but it blurs really nicely as well. And it has just a little bit of coverage. You can make it have more coverage. I've worn it on its own before. I actually tried it in my Foundation 5 series from this earlier this year. This is the BK Beauty 105 brush, and it's my favorite powder brush right now, and it disperses this so nicely. It's like a really big, like halfway between a semi-fluffy and firm brush. I don't like a super fluffy brush, but this just, it makes me look poreless, and I love it. And also holds onto my makeup forever. Oh, that bronzer looks so nice. I think I might go in with another bronzer though, because I haven't used it on camera yet. I want to, because it's really good, but the Charlotte Tilbury one is so nice. Not to get too in love with it too quickly, but I really like it. So stay tuned for speed reviews, because I'll be mentioning all of the newer products that I'm trying today, as well as other ones that I've tried off camera, and then you can like know my full opinions. I'm going to actually also go in with this Infallible Freshwear bronzer. This is in the shade Fair. I love this stuff, it's so good. Oh my gosh. And one of my favorite bronzer brushes right now is the Ulta Beauty Bronzer 21. It's a very unique shape, but I love it. I just love it. So the last topic I want to talk about is my YouTube channel and the future of it. I want to know where you want the channel to go. Obviously, I do things that I like to on the channel, but part of my job as a YouTuber is to give you the content that you want. So, do you want more vlogs? If you want more vlogs, do you want them to have certain things in it? If so, let me know. Like, you want to see hauls or grocery runs or organization. What kind of makeup videos do you want to see from me? Do you like first impressions, or do you want more of like a, speed reviews while also giving like thorough reviews while applying products at times? Just let me know. And because I love YouTube. I love being a YouTuber. If I didn't, I would have quit by now because I make no money. And I don't grow nearly as fast as a lot of other YouTubers, but I really want to grow my channel, and I'd love to get monetized because that'll allow more opportunities for me as a YouTuber. Also, I'll be able to give you like more quality content if I'm generating some sort of income. Like, obviously we have Thomas's income, but I don't want to use all of his income to like buy products for my YouTube channel. Even though he's told me he'd be fine with that. Like, he'd be fine if I used his money and like we'll make a budget or whatever. But I'd like to also provide for myself in like, supplying stuff for my channel. So please tell me like where you would like my channel to go. Because I just want to grow so bad. I want to excel on this platform. It's my dream is to do well on YouTube, and it would make my whole life if I'd be able to. So please just tell me like what you're wanting to see from me, and maybe that'll help me pursue that dream, possibly like succeed in that dream, while also giving you as viewers like what you'd like to see. I'm going to go zhuzh my hair, put some lipstick on, and come back and close off this video, and I'll let you know what lip combo I use then. So I'll see you guys in just a second. So everything is complete now. I'm feeling much more put together. My hair is done, put some lipstick on, and I wanted to tell you real quick the last steps that I did. So for my lipstick, I use this Rimmel lip liner in Innocent. Then I went into the Maybelline Ultimate Color Sensational lipstick in the shade More Blonde, and I love it. I'm actually almost out of this. It'll be in my next empties video probably, but I think it's just such a nice color and goes with pretty much any eye look. And then to set everything, I went in with my Milani Make It Last setting spray. This is one of my favorites if you haven't ever seen my channel before, or you just didn't know that. It's awesome, and this jumbo size is like $12 to $16. So I would say that the things I tried for the first time in this video, I really like so far. I will of course update you like in the speed reviews video. I hope you guys liked this video and just liked the general talking of some random topics that have been on my mind. That is it for today's video. I hope you liked it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and make sure you hit that notification bell down below so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, and also subscribe to my channel if you're not already. I hope you guys have a great night, day, week, weekend, whatever it is, wherever you are, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.